Hey guys, welcome to True Automotive Reviews. We have a 2021 Tesla Model Y. In the previous video, we reviewed a Tesla Model 3, and of course, it shares a lot of similarities, not just from the looks, but also a lot of the features on the inside. This is also a dual motor, so it has that range of 355 miles, according to the EPA, of course. They share 80% of the parts from the Model 3. You can start to look at the exterior of the car, the interior, and go on a short test drive. Starting from the front over here, you could tell those well-known headlights that are introduced from the Model 3. You got full LED headlights over here in the front, and the bottom you get the fog lights, and then small air vents over here. They're a little bit bigger on the Model 3, of course. Well-integrated parking sensors right here, starting from here, and then you work your way down here. Since this car doesn't have a real gasoline engine, there's no requirement for an actual grill or air intake. But it's just for aerodynamics to have these little vents right here on the side. In the bottom, you can see that there's a little opening right here with the grill. It doesn't do anything at all. It's non-functional. You can see your tow hook right here that's covered. The fascia in the front looks really good. It's got this like shark nose kind of feel right here in the front. And the way this line angles here really sets it apart. And it really says Model 3 on the front and Model X on the back. Looking on the side, the vehicle itself has these tires right here, and the rims look beautiful. They're not too bad. They're 19-inch Continental, of course, and they're made to be really light, so that way you have more aerodynamic and fuel efficiency on the road, and they fill out the wheel well quite well, and there's not much gapping right here. On the side right here, you still get the side camera right here. Pretty familiar with the Model 3 as well. Same exact thing right here. It's a function that you can tap within the screen inside of the vehicle. You can see your side view blind spots. And then on the side over here, you can see the line that starts from there and then works its way up. So it gives it a kind of a subtle and beautiful profile right here in the bottom. The door handle, of course, matte black finish right here. Got inspired from the Tesla Model 3 there. And as long as you push right here, you're able to open it. The glass up top right here came down just a little bit, and Tesla says that it's double, so it's reinforced. You're not going to hear a lot of road noise driving in this car, so that's pretty awesome, especially at the price point of $52,000. So if I'm driving my $52,000 electric car, I don't want to hear a lot of road noise, let alone have a rough feel of a traditional vehicle. For you to be able to get out of the vehicle, of course, it doesn't have a traditional handle as you would have from other vehicles. It's got an electric button right here where you just push it, and the latch really opens right there, and it's very, very quick. Your windows are powered up and down right here, so that's pretty traditional. The top part is hard plastic right here, so it's not the most pleasant place to place your arm, but the middle right here is kind of like a suede material, and then the bottom here is actually leather finished. You can see the gray stitching right here. It makes it look really unique and stand out. And the bottom part, of course, which you wouldn't mind anyway, is actually hard touch plastic. One thing I noticed is that it's really prone to getting scratches and dirt. And so if you're getting one of these vehicles, you're gonna wanna make sure this part's always cleaned and things like that. You got space for one cup holder here. Usually in SUVs, you might have one or two, but one is ample right now. A lot of people don't really care for a lot of cup holders, as long as you're able to fit one and a little bit more room to fit other things if you have to. Now, moving along to the interior of the Model Y, you can see that the badging follows along at the bottom right here. It says Model Y, which is really nice. You get power seats, so you get forward and backwards, your lumbar support, as well as your back bench. So that's pretty awesome. And then the leather itself is pretty plush for the most part. I've driven it, and it kind of keeps you centered while you're driving, so not a lot of swaying around there for sure. And the gray stitching follows along from the door trims all the way up here to the seats themselves, and it feels quite genuine, so I really applaud Tesla for that. There's a lot of similarities here with the Model 3, especially with the steering wheel style, the actual screen, the stocks that you're going to be using. And so starting off with this part right here, like a wood finished part, really nice right here. You got silver here, but you got wood finished part right here. And then where you would find a traditional gauge in the front with other vehicles, you don't have anything here. It's just a blank open space, and then the speaker follows along all the way from the left side of the vehicle in the front to the middle, and then all the way to the end on the right. And the sound's really nice in here. Instead of traditional vehicles that have multiple speakers, which this one has multiple speakers, but on the front it has a much bigger one. That way it doesn't have to, you know, put 19 or 20 speakers in here. One big one in the front, a couple on the side, and then some more in the rear doors as well. And right here is where you would have your vents. So the vents start from here all the way to the end. Usually on traditional cars you'll have like a circular vent that you can open and close, but this one just starts from here and makes its way all the way to the back. So that's pretty unique as well. Turn signal is right here, and your gear selector is going to be right here on this side. So you have your park, neutral, drive, and then this is also going to control your cruise control. And so your steering wheel is leather wrapped. It's pretty unique. I feel like it's a little bit smaller in my opinion, but it's exactly as it is in the Model 3. It's very functional, minimalist, if I should say. Kind of goes along with the theme of the entire interior of the car and the exterior. So on the left side right here, you have your scroll wheel, which you can kind of scroll up and down and to the side as well. Kind of a thing right there. You can actually control your music and some of the functions here on the screen with these scroll wheel options right here. And then on the right is what you would have to use for you to be able to control your infotainment, your semi-autonomous cruise options. So that's pretty awesome there. Very small steering wheel here, but kind of mimics the one from the other vehicle. Each of these vehicles, the Model 3, Model Y, Model X, Model S, inspire each other. So coming along over here with the interior of the car, you're looking at 2 wireless chargers for your Smart Connect phones. So if you have an iPhone, you could just set it right there. It'll start charging on the right one as well. So your passenger can also enjoy some of those amenities. And then when you open this right here, this is actually new. It used to be where the Model 3 had it glossy. It was glossy and it was prone to getting a lot of scratches and having dirt. But this one in particular is actually plastic. So when you open it, it has a nice and smooth feel. It feels very subtle, and the interior it's pretty ample there. If you were to put a few things in there like your wallet, your charger, a couple other items that are important to you. And then once you close that up, you're looking over here for the cup holders. They're a little bit small, but you can fit a 16-ounce bottle in here, 2 of them. The center console right here, which is also leather wrapped. It feels genuine because the leather isn't feeling plasticky, of course. The stitching follows along all the way over here and around, so that's pretty awesome. You can get the Model Y with 2 rows, or you can get the Model Y with 3 rows. Now the 3 row is mostly meant for children or small animals if you have, and so this particular one we have right now is actually just a 2 row, so it doesn't have this 3rd row space in the back. But moving along over here, you could see the door panel and materials mimics just what it is in the front right here. Hard touch on the top, suede material in the middle, and then leather wrapped and stitched right here in the bottom. So that's pretty awesome, especially if you're hauling kids around. You're not going to want to have a lot of material that's going to break down quickly. And of course, for you to exit the car, it has the same exact option as the front. You press this button and then the electronic latch just opens right away. A lot of room right here for you to place things, as far as a side pockets right here on the door. And the leather material is, like I said, very plush, very soft right here. Child seats you can latch right here on the side, and then the middle has a center console that you can open up, which has cup holders, of course, just like most traditional SUVs, but nonetheless it is leather wrapped as well, where some SUVs give you like a plastic one or harder material, so it goes along with the rest of the vehicle. The headrest right here, the Model 3 had headrests that were integrated with the seat, but this one is actually, you can separate it or move it around a little bit if you'd like. And for you to be able to move the actual seat itself, it has an electronic latch right here. So when you push this, you can actually open it all the way down, just like that. Accessing the rear is super simple. Just like the Model 3, you're gonna have a latch right here. Just tap it once, and then it's gonna open just like that. And so you still have the button right here for you to press for you to be able to close it. Most of the parts in here are electrified, so if you press this again, you can actually close the car. With the seats all the way down and folded, you're going to be able to see that you got a lot of cargo room over here. You can pretty much put a lot of things in here if you go shopping on a pretty busy day, or if you're taking a long trip out to visit some family members across the states. You can place probably about 3 or 4 of your cargo right in here. And moving along to the bottom over here, obviously since this car doesn't have a spare tire, you got this deep space right here for you to place things as well. So not just over here, but you can also place a lot of things in here. And you can also, instead of pressing those buttons to roll the seats down, you've got a couple buttons right here, this one for the right and this one for the left. So you can just press this right here and it goes down, and then you push this as well and makes them fold down electronically. So where you would expect a hood to open and an engine to be displayed, this vehicle obviously doesn't have a traditional engine. It has battery packs that are underneath the vehicle. So for the front, you're compensated with some space right here. It's called the frunk instead. So while you have the deep one in the rear, you have this as well here in the front. Obviously not as big. You could probably put a couple backpacks in here, maybe a golf club, a few other belongings. The only realistic things that I see that are mechanical in here is this right here, your tow hook for the front, which is available right in here. And then the other thing is this windshield wiper fluid reservoir right here for you to refill. Otherwise, there are no other mechanisms that you have to open, close, maintain. You kept it minimalist, not just from the inside, also on the outside. And for you to close it, just bring this down and then lightly close it. And yes, it has the panoramic glass roof right here that goes from one end to the other. It really extends out wide. It actually goes all the way across and to the actual windshield itself. And you can see right here, it's polarized. So you're not gonna have too much sunlight over here to where it bothers you, but just enough for you to have a gorgeous view of the skies, not just while you're driving, but while you're parked. It's really, really unique. Usually if a vehicle of this price point or luxury sector, especially in the Mercedes-Benz or BMW, they'll have the same thing, but it'll have like a mesh or some kind of covering to it, a partition of some sort for you to open and close. But this one is just kind of laying there naked and open. And so you get really, really good views of the skies while you're in here. And instead of having some kind of cover to it, it's just open just like this, and it's angled to where it actually mimics the entire roof of the vehicle. And with it being like this, a lot of people would say that you can't put a roof rack, you can't put things on it because it's glass. You're not gonna have any issues being able to put things on there. You can actually get a roof rack if you'd like on here. And so it's amazing the way it is. Let's take it for a drive, shall we? Push our foot on the brake and then put it in gear. As long as we have this key card sitting right behind these little cup holders, it'll detect that and let me know that the vehicle is on. It doesn't have a traditional on and off button like any other push to start vehicle. All right, let's get going. All right, so we have our foot on the brake. Use our gear selector right here to put the vehicle in reverse first. Let's take a look at that camera angle. That's nice and clear. So on the left, on the right, those are the little cameras that are attached to your fender. So those are the 2 angles. Just one long line right here, white line as well. So nothing confusing, not a busy screen, of course. And so yeah, let's back out and get going. All right, now that we're on drive, you can see that it even mimics the fact that the taillights are on. So when you have the taillights on and you push on the brake, you can see the light comes on. So as it is happening in real time, it gives you that feedback right there. Traditionally, what you would have here is a lot of torque and power of this vehicle. And when you let go of the accelerator, what happens is that you have decreased power. But when you push on the accelerator, you have more power. And so sometimes you wouldn't even have a need to use your brake pedal, but you can if you'd like to. Now, obviously this vehicle has the dual motor, so it is slightly more powerful than the traditional one. But let's take a left over here and turn and see that how the takeoff speed is. So we're at 10 miles an hour. Speed limit's only 30 here, so I don't want to go too much faster, but it certainly moves. And what you would notice is that while the seat and the bolstered seats and the cushiony kind of seat really holds you in place, the steering wheel does a really good job of communicating with the motors to really give you a guided feel, a guided drive, not just all over the place. So it's got that refined, that tuned driving feel. On the left side of the vehicle, right here on the bottom left, you got the vehicle icon, which mimics a Tesla Model Y or 3, of course. And you got a lot of controls. Your quick controls are going to be your exterior lighting, which is set to auto right now. Your front lights, your front fog lights, of course. You can adjust your mirror or steering wheel right here on this one electronically. You can fold your mirrors, of course. Your windows can be locked right here. You can lock them so that if someone's sitting in the passenger side, they can't roll them down. And then you can control your display brightness right here. I'm going to keep it at 100% because we're recording, but you can also have it at auto. So at nighttime, your brightness changes based on the lighting of the exterior. Now under lights, of course, it's the same thing over here for the exterior. You can have it on, off, parking, or on auto. Your dome lights you can also control, and your ambient lighting, which is for the interior of the vehicle. And for your locks, you have a key card that you would use for this vehicle. So you program the key card and you would see it over there programmed. Your window lock and child lock is also available right here. Your walk away lock, of course, so if you walk away, you can have this option turned on for you to be able to have the car lock itself when you walk away. When the car is left open, you get a notification on your phone. This one in particular has it as off, but you can put it on doors or doors and windows both. So if you forget your windows to be open, you get a notification on your phone when you walk away. If you have both the doors and the windows that are open, you get that notification. The lock confirmation, you'll have like a little chime or sound, and then you close the windows on lock. If you have that open, the windows will actually close as you lock the vehicle. On your display right here, you got your mode. So you got day, and you also have nighttime. Nighttime is pretty much to where things are a little bit darker right there in the background, but it's daytime right now with the sun, and so you have it on day. You can also have it on auto. Your energy display can be for energy, or you can have it as distance. You can choose between those two. You can have it display in kilometers if you want. You can have it in miles, and then also in Celsius or Fahrenheit. The tire pressure will show you a bar based on how much more air you have in there, or you can also get it for PSI, or pound per square inch. So the driving, obviously this is the main part right here. This is the highlight of the show. Your acceleration is on chill right now, but you can also have it on standard. So if you have it on standard, it's more of a peppy kind of acceleration, but when you have it on chill, it's more of a dialed back kind of feel, more smooth, more subtle. And you got stopping mode right here, and that is, so you got the creep, roll, or hold. So whenever you're at a stop sign and you want to be able to just move just a little bit, you have the option to choose it as creep. The vehicle will just creep just a little bit, or roll, or even hold on stopping mode. Off-road assist, that's something you can think about whenever you purchase one. And then slip start right here to help the vehicle if it's like stuck in snow and things like that, sand, mud, you're able to check that out. And so the autopilot is the one thing that you'll have to pay more. If you have the autopilot engaged, you pay a lot. Obviously, I think around $10,000 more for the Model 3 and Model Y for you to have that autopilot option. You have the auto steer, which is still in beta. The navigation on autopilot is still in beta. The traffic light and stop sign, it's still in beta. Obviously, these are things that they're still kind of digging a little bit more into for you to be able to use. But I have seen some models that have, fully autonomous options for your autopilot. So you can still use that. And so your green light traffic chime right here, that's the one that gives you the little chime whenever the green light turns on. You can turn that on and off. You see the option that says summons. So you can have, I've seen this many times with the mobile app. You summon the vehicle to basically, if you're in a tight garage, you can't get in. You press that option right there and you have the vehicle come towards you. If you're outside of the garage, it literally will come out. And you could customize that. You can even have it on standby mode, which is pretty unique here. Under your navigation, this is the part that a lot of people are looking forward to. So the navigation, you can increase or decrease the volume. You got your trip planner. Whenever you press on one of these buttons right here on the right for your navigation, you could tell your Tesla to plan a trip in advance, maybe to add a couple charging locations on the way to your destination. You can do it on there as well. You have your online routing, which pre-plans and preloads everything onto your vehicle before you try your trip out. And then your route, if it's more than 10 minutes, it'll let you know. You can avoid ferries if you'd like. You can avoid tolls, and then you can have the option to use HOV lanes. Under your safety and security, it's really simple. You can set your own personal speed limit. And so you've got that option over here as well, and then Sentry mode as well. Joe mode, which I still haven't figured out what it is, security alarm, and a pin to drive. Oh yeah, and then the glove box, you can actually set a pin to it. And so that's pretty unique in my opinion. Here we got your owner's manual. When it's usually in like a booklet mode, you got it right here and you can view it all online. And so that's pretty cool. And then you got notifications. You can adjust your headlights and things like that. We're driving now, so we can't really configure those things. And the towing, of course, it's not set up for this vehicle, so it's grayed out right now. Instead of having to go to the dealership and having something added to your vehicle, like a software update for your navigation, if you drive a Toyota or a Lexus or Honda, you'll just have the software update for the vehicle entirely. So it may say software update to give you 2% more power, and you press that, you install that, and boom, you've got 2% more power. This part right here gives you really the view of the cameras. It's got like a little lens logo right here. This is your wiper option now. You could press this, you can have it go really fast, medium, or really slow, or you can leave it on auto. Most people just leave it on auto. And when you press this up right here, you got an extended number of menu options right here, like calling, calendar, camera, energy, charging, web. You can even access the web over here or play games. A lot of people, like, they're bored on a stoplight, they put some entertainment on, they start playing, Tetris, or start playing Pac-Man. You can also control your calendar from your car and even make events. So under your energy tab right here, this is the start of the show. You're able to see how much you're getting, your instant range. There you go. Your projected is 999 miles range. And so you're able to look at that from the span of 5 miles, 15 miles, or 30 miles. And your heated seat option is going to be right here for you to choose. Your fan speed, as well as your climate control options, is right here. Look how unique that is. I told you the vents are in the back, behind the screen right here, all the way from the left side to the right. And it shows you the airflow, which is coming from this side and then also on the right side. Besides that, you're able to turn on the heated seat for the passenger side as well from here. You're able to control the volume of things that you're doing right here. Overall, the vehicle, on the outside, resembles the Model 3 and its unique features. On the inside, it has a little bit more amenities as well as features. Obviously, optional third row seat if you get that. The steering wheel, the actual functions of this screen, they really are similar to the Model 3 that I drove previously, and it sets it apart from the competition. From the rear, it really resembles in the interior space the Model X, with the small third row seats. Obviously are not the same as the Model X, but the rear really resembles the Model X. These vehicles look kind of similar in the rear. On the front, it really resembles the Model 3, and then as well as the interior. And so I feel like it's just a sweet spot. Driving the Model 3 was awesome. A lot of the features are actually resembling what it's in the Model 3 and the Model X as well. The front looks really awesome. The interior, door feel, materials, the leather steering wheel, and a lot of the features on the inside are really unique. Now, this particular one is actually a red one. We drove a white one instead, but it's the same trim and model. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on this video, and let us know your suggestion on the next video. Thanks for watching.